loss of father's salary put great pressure on our family. We were unable to make ends meet. Finally, to get away from their bourgeois acquaintances, my parents made the difficult decision to move to Kunshan, then a small town 35 miles west of Shanghai, where we moved in with my maternal grandmother. Grandfather had once owned a lot of real estate in Kunshan, but having discovered the encumbrances of land ownership, he had sold all of it except for some 10 mu on the western side of Kunshan, with 8 single-story houses and 2 fish ponds. Unable to abide her husband's young concubine, grandmother lived in one of these houses together with relatives from her huge clan. She was a generous, meek woman, and we got along well. It took some time for me to get used to life in Kunshan. In Shanghai, we had lived in a Western-style villa. Now we lived in a simple house without even a bathroom. There was also a charm and serenity to Kunshan in those days. The fertile countryside around our house was dotted with rivers and lakes, the typical Jiangnan landscape. To the north stood the beautiful Ma'an Mountain. In the east, a small river connected to Bai Lake. On the western side, rice paddies mingled with groves of mulberry trees. And south of us were the Puji Hospital and General Bu's Temple. All of that is gone now, replaced by asphalt roads and endless rows of concrete apartment blocks. Together with friends, Father started a second-hand plank and beam business on a plot of vacant land by our house. They would buy old wooden houses in the countryside, dismantle them, and transport the lumber back to Kunshan, where it was either sold or used to make coffins. I often went to the coffin workshop to play with the tools and learned a bit of carpentry. The income from this business was limited. Mother, who had always lived well, couldn't tolerate our newfound poverty and hectored Father to seek an official position again. By then, the Japanese invaders had set up a puppet government headed by Wang Jingwei. So if you wanted to serve in the government, you had to become a Japanese collaborator. One of Mother's old classmates was married to Fang Huanru, a northerner who had joined the Communist Party in the early 1920s. In 1927, when Chiang Kai-shek launched his campaign against the communists in Shanghai, Fang Huanru had fled to the Soviet Union, only to be classified as a Trotskyite during Stalin's purges in the 1930s. Forced to flee again, he had returned to China, thrown himself into the arms of the Kuomintang, KMT, and been assigned to underground work against the Japanese in Shanghai. There, he was ferreted out by Wang Jingwei's agents and had become a Japanese turncoat to save his skin. In January 1944, the Japanese established Huaihai Province with Shih as its capital and Hao Pengju as the puppet governor. Fang Huangru was given a job as chief of the puppet administration. He and his wife often played mahjong with my parents, and Fang Huangru encouraged Father to come with him to Shih. Mother supported the idea. Around that time, a pest in the hatchery that Father had started with a friend killed all the chickens, leaving Father bankrupt. Desperate, he had no alternative but to accept Fang Huanru's offer and was assigned as Director of Logistics in Sioux County, where he supplied the 8th Route Army and apparently made some money. Although he resigned after only 1 year, this black mark haunted him the rest of his life and was the seed of his destruction. Father's attitude toward the Japanese torments me. I was young and didn't understand what was going on. But if I had been an adult, I'm sure we would have had a fight. The Japanese invasion affected me deeply and